Okay, they have arrived. It's arrived. The question is, are we going to be able to get this together? This is the custom, I guess it's kind of custom made, retractable screen from a company called Cars to Pro. I bought it. They didn't give me any deal here. All right, thanks for stopping by. Today, what we're going to look at is, should you use a long iron or a hybrid, okay? And, what hybrid are you gonna use? That's gonna be dependent kind of on you. But what I have here is a 4-iron, 19-degree lofted 4-iron, and a 20-degree lofted 3 hybrid. And we're gonna just look at why you would choose one over the other and the things you should consider when, let's say, you have to decide, okay, at what point do I go from a long iron and start using the hybrids? Because that's very important too. And there's a few things we need to look at so that you can really understand why and when you should make that switch. Let's go. So when you're deciding whether you're going to use or have long irons in your bag versus hybrids, what we're going to focus on today primarily is the scenario or the decision based on the fact that you're hitting it into the green. So let's say we start with a 5-iron. What I'm looking at here is the tour average 5-iron. Now, I don't care how far it goes, okay? That's not really going to be important. What I care about is the landing angle, okay? The landing angle is the angle at which that ball is coming down into the green. All right, that's important. If it's coming in too low, it's going to hit and just release. So it doesn't matter how far it goes. If it's too low, it's just not going to be a good option. So first thing I want to do is look at my 5-iron. So I'm going to hit a few shots with this. And we're just looking at, if you have a way to check your descent angle or the angle it's going down, that would be good. That one was 41.9. So it's a little low. I didn't hit it very well, but let's try another one. Oh, by the way, this is the divot action mat. Okay? It flexes downward, very similar to what a divot would do. So link in the description below for that. So let's hit another 5-iron and see where we're at. Not horrible. 46. That's just what I'm focused on. And then let's say you don't have a TrackMan or something, or whatever. What you're looking at is, it's just the degree of which it's going down. So 49, so 45, we kind of all understand a 90 degree, 45 degree. If you're a 45, you're pretty good. So if it's a little more down than a 45 degree angle, coming down, that's even better. So that was 46. That's pretty good. It was a big, high right shot, so we can actually hit a good one. Okay, that's 43. So that's good. It's not great, right? So that's a 5-iron. And it's coming down a bit low. A little FYI, if you're hitting into an impact screen and you hit and the ball ricochets to the right, your face is wide open. If it's going straight, you're squared up. If it ricochets left, you're shut. Just a little tip for you in case you don't have some technology to help you out. So anyways, I've got this landing angle. It's coming down pretty low. That's a 5-iron, right? All right. And this is kind of stuff you want to look at. Now, everybody's going to be different because of the fact that everybody's swing is different. So just because that's coming in a little lower than I want it to, doesn't necessarily mean a hybrid is going to make it go higher. Okay, it just depends on swing. So let's switch to a 4-iron. Okay, so I've got the 4-iron now, and let's see what this does. That was solid. 202 carry, 40-degree landing angle. So it's coming in a bit lower. Now, I'm not trying to change my swing here. I don't want to revolutionize my entire game just because my long iron goes a little lower than I want it to. But I just try to get a nice idea of what it's doing. Okay, so like 191 carry, 209, that was a pretty good shot, but it's 37 degrees landing angle. And with the 4-iron, the PGA Tour landing angle is 48. So they're coming in so much higher with the long iron than me. And that's really important because they're going to come in a lot higher and just land it much softer on the green. And that's what we're looking for. They're going to hit a lot farther too because they have more club head speed. So I'm not necessarily looking for more distance. I think a lot of times we get caught up in the fact that, hey, a hybrid's going to go farther. Not necessarily. What it's going to do is it may or may not come in from a higher landing angle. It might come in from a steeper angle. And that's what we want to look at. Now I want the equivalent distance, but with a much higher descent angle. So now I have this 3 hybrid. Now I don't want a gap in my bag. So if this goes so far, I really want the same distance, let's say as a 4-iron, but in some type of hybrid. So this is a 20-degree hybrid. And let's see what kind of performance I get out of this. That was a pretty good shot. Okay, so 205 carry and a 44-degree landing angle. So it's going a bit higher than my 4-iron already, a little bit farther. That was just the first shot. Pretty consistent there. That was good. It only went total distance 200. So I'm getting a little bit more height with this 3 hybrid, but let's say not so much more distance. So for me right now, is the trade-off worth it? Like, what are the pros and cons? What are the benefits of this over this? Ideally, you want it to go a lot higher at the same distance. It's going a little bit higher, but it's really not the same distance. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's a lot less. So I'm a bit more consistent with the 4-iron, at least off the fairway or off the tee box is what that would replicate. But let's say we're out of the rough. We need to test that too and see, hey, out of some rough lies going into the green, what is that going to look like? So this is not a promotional video, but what we're going to do is take out my divot action mat, the fairway version, and I'm inserting the rough version. And you can see we got some rough here, and that's what we're going to hit out of. Just a rough lie like you would find on the golf course right there. It's got the same divot action technology, just FYI. So now I want to see, because I'm going into the green, a lot of times I'm going to have this cut or even this at worst. So let's see how it performs out of a little bit longer rough. Hybrid first. Okay, we got a good look at what those look like out of the rough. Now we'll do the same thing with the 4-iron. Okay, so it's pretty obvious which one performs better out of the rough. Hybrid all the way. Obviously, it has a lot more material to go through the grass, much more designed to perform in this type of situation over a 4-iron. So that's kind of a no-brainer. But still, is it worth it to take this out of the bag for this? Or do you want to do something a little different? Okay, so here's something I do, and it might be something to consider when you're putting your bag together or determining hybrid and what hybrid should you get. Here's what I have done. And I have a 4-iron in my bag. That's my longest iron, all right? And then currently I'm also using a hybrid that is the same club. So they go the same distance, roughly. One is a lot easier to hit out of the rough, and the other, this goes a lot lower. So depending on the situation from a long distance, let's say 200, 210 yards, somewhere in there, right? If I want to come in high to a green, I have that option, okay? If I want some more run out, let's say I'm hitting off a tee or into the fairway, or laying up on that par 5 where I want it to roll out a little more, then I usually go with a 4-iron. Or if that pin's in the back of the green and I could come in lower, I'll go with the 4-iron. Whereas if it's in the front, I've got to get it up, carry something, I go with a hybrid. So it's the same club. Now, some people might argue against this philosophy, right? But I say, look, you need something at that distance that you can hit out of the rough, that you can get onto the green or really close. But you also need something in that category that's going to hit the ball a little lower from time to time, because what do you do when there's a lot of wind and all you have are clubs that go high? Then you're in a bit of trouble. Or you want some more run out, or you're in trouble and you have to punch something underneath some tree limbs and all you have are clubs that go high, you're going to be in trouble. So I don't think you should have a 1-iron just to punch out or run things in there low. I think you should have a long iron and the equivalent, the equal hybrid that goes the same distance, but one is for certain situations and the other is for other situations. And then I have a driver, 5-wood, 3 hybrid, okay? Then I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 4 wedges and a putter, and that's my set of 14 clubs. So that's something to consider. Don't just say, oh, it goes so much farther, I need that. You don't necessarily need the distance. I personally think your hybrid should match your longest iron, but it should just perform a little differently. So that's something to check out, do some testing, hit out of the rough, see how high it goes. Just see that landing angle is what you want to look at, the descent angle, how it comes down into the green. The higher, the steeper it comes down, typically the better. If it's coming in like this, you're not going to be close to the hole very often. So you want things, pretty much all your clubs, to have a nice descent angle. You'll figure it out. Hope this helps, puts a little, sheds a little light on the hybrid long iron debate. That's my recommendation. Love you guys. See you next video.